Well, it's summer where I live, and that means a lot of outdoor activities, including making s'mores. So join me today and I'll show you how to make some s'mores for the dolls in your dollhouse. So last week we made the makings for s'mores, or the ingredients. So this week, let's make some s'mores, and we'll see what happens next week. I think there's going to be a third part to this little series. So let's start with the marshmallows. Again, we're working from lightest clay to darkest clay, just like we do any other time we're working with clay. And I did go to the craft store and buy some more white. I'm really hoping this white does not have blue spots in it. So we are going to actually make, for this section, we are going to make 2 sets of marshmallows. We are going to make some marshmallows on sticks, because in case you want to do your scene where the kids are toasting their marshmallows. Now, if you could find a stick, a piece of actual wood that is strong enough to use, go ahead and do that. I just use wire. And I don't know what gauge this wire is, it's just a little roll. And I'm going to cut them longer than I need them. And I'm going to cut, I'll probably make 3 of them now. Just so you get the idea of what we're doing. We'll cut them to length later when we're ready to put them into a scene. Now, I have white clay, just white Fimo. And once again, we're going to make it look basically just like our little marshmallows did last week, except this time. And they can be a little bit puffed, a little bit bigger if you are going to color them like they've been toasted already. I just moved my knife. I knew I had my knife in my hand. And I already picked up yuck on my clay. Okay. So for these, we make our little marshmallow. And then we're just going to stick it onto our stick. And I find the wire works the best. You could even paint the wire if you want it to look more like wood, or if you can find something that looks more like wood, go ahead and use it. Use whatever you've got. Toothpicks to me look just a little bit too heavy, that's why I don't use them for this. And they don't have to be on perfectly straight. Remember, when you make s'mores, you don't always get it right in the middle. I'm gonna make this is a little too small. So get my thing picked up here. Add a little clay to it. And I'll make one more. And then we need to color it off. Now, if the kids are just picking them up off the table, you're done. But if they've been to the fire and they've been toasting their marshmallows, you'll need to add a little bit of color. And we're going to do that with chalk, just like we do almost any other raw clay project. For lightly toasted, just a little yellow ochre, just like you would on a bread or anything else. You see, that looks nice and toasted. And we are going to put that into our drying rack. And this is the drying rack I showed you how to make a few weeks ago. Take another one. Okay, brush it with a little yellow ochre. Now, there's one kid in every group. I was the kid in Girl Scouts that was always getting in trouble because I started my marshmallows on fire. So when I got done, my marshmallows were always somewhat black. So I always do, when I'm doing these, when I do a set of these for sale, which I've sold these in the past, I haven't had any for sale for a long time, I always include at least one on a stick that's got the blackened marshmallow on it, because like I said, there's one of us in every group. So you'll have to figure out what the personalities are of the people in your dollhouse. So that's all there is to making the marshmallows on the sticks. Now let me go get my TLS and we'll make the marshmallows that go on our s'mores. I've got my TLS, I've got a knitting needle. I love using knitting needles for this because they clean up really well. It doesn't react to the liquid polymer clay. It's just a really good tool to use for this. So we're going to take some white clay. And I can't give you measurements for this. What you're going to do, a little bit of TLS on there, and work it through. And what I should have done was gotten a wet wipe before I did that, while I still had two hands to reach into the wet wipes with. Because this is sticky. And that's the idea. What we want, we don't want this to be as thin as you would for frosting. You want it to be basically just enough TLS to make it a little sticky. That's what we're looking for. Now we're going to roll this out. And these can be a little bit bigger than our raw marshmallows, because remember, marshmallows, as they get hot, they expand. They blow up like a little balloon. But not too big. And let's make that many right now. And we're going to make little balls out of this. And these are going to stick to your fingers. They're going to stick to your tray. That's why we want the wet wipe close by. Roll them into nice little balls. Drop off. And these can be even more so, you know, they don't have to be perfect. They can be even more imperfect than the ones last week, because, like I said, they're going to get all puffy and they're going to expand and they're going to be a big mush. Now, we're going to take our chalk. I'm just going to leave my chalk right in the thing here and the tray and just scrape some. I don't need enough to warrant getting out my tray for this. Now, don't cover the whole thing, and because we're going to smush, it's not going to, you're going to have white showing. Because when you smash that down, in real life, you smash the s'more together, you end up with the inside marshmallow coming out. I'm going to put some dark brown on, a couple of them. That will represent the burnt marshmallow. For those of us that always had to burn our marshmallows. Like I said, I was always in trouble for that. Alright, so that's all we're doing with our marshmallows yet. Now, I need to see, where did I lay? There it is. The chocolate colored clay. The same Fimo chocolate colored clay that we used last week. And we are going to do the same thing. We're going to get it, and this is a classic color, so it's a little bit more firm, and it's not a brand new, right out of the package of clay. So it's a little harder. Again, just enough TLS to make it soft and squishy, because we want our chocolate to look like it's melted. And then usually what I do is I just put it out on my tile. I don't even bother to run it through the pasta machine because it's too sticky to go through the pasta machine successfully anyway. So just roll it out. Cut approximately 1/4 inch squares. It's okay if these are a little bit bigger than your graham crackers. Now you will need, and I'll put a link in the description and in the blog post, you'll need your graham crackers that we cooked last week. The graham cracker part was on last week's video, and that needs to be cooked off. Those are already baked. So we're going to lay our chocolate on our first graham cracker, and we're going to smush it down. And see how I'm kind of pulling it so it looks like it's running down? Now a marshmallow. Hopefully I'm getting in the camera. Come on. I need to get It's warm in here and this clay is really sticky because of the TLS. Another cooked graham cracker, and we push down. And there, we have a s'more. Now if you want a little more chalk showing, a little more color showing, except I think I dropped my brush on the floor, so I'll use a Q-tip. You can pick up a little more chalk, maybe even a little more dark, if you want to have a little bit more color showing. Now we'll make some more. And I like to make sure that the chocolate is down, so the chocolate half of the s'more is down. I don't know why. To me that's the right direction. See if I can do this up a little more in front of the camera. Or I can just drop everything. Okay. Melty chocolate, marshmallow, graham cracker. And try to make sure that you have your graham cracker with the little side with the holes on it out on both halves. It's still warm here, which for Oregon is really unusual. We don't get a lot of hot. We get humid, but we don't really get a whole lot of hot for very long, so I don't even know very many people have air conditioning in their houses, including me. I don't have it either. So, there we go. That's a little big, so we'll cut it down. Some more. Oops. And I'm sure you could do Barbie size, just double the size of the direction of the sizes I gave you. Most of the sizes were listed in last week's, so refer back to last week's video. And like I said, the graham crackers, you need to make them, they need to be pre-baked before this step. So those are from last week's video. So if you haven't watched that, you'll need to go back and watch that so you get your graham crackers. But they're a fun little project. Do just a couple more. You see, once you get going, even though it's hot and sticky in here, these go together pretty easy. Now, if you don't have a drying rack to do your marshmallows on the sticks, you could lay them on carefully on your paper plate. You could lay them on crumpled aluminum foil. Don't lay them directly on a ceramic tile because you'll get a flat, shiny side to whatever side is down then. It really is best to have something where they stand up like that. There. I got one more marshmallow made, so I'll do one more here. And there. Now I will go bake these at 235 degrees for about 10 minutes, and after they've baked and cooled, I'll come back and show you the finished s'mores. Alright, so these are now out of the oven. There's still a little bit on the warm side, so I'm going to be really careful here, but we have our cooked marshmallows, and some I did the other day. Where did I put them? I don't know. But we've got our cooked marshmallows, and we've got our s'mores all finished here. So we got plenty of s'mores for the whole neighborhood, I think. So I hope you. Oh, one thing I wanted to talk to you about. I've mentioned it in passing last week about how plastics and raw Fimo and raw polymer clay don't mix, and sometimes they melt things. And I mentioned this in more detail on my blog. I want to show you this. Oops, I've got more stuck to it. See this hole here where it's melted? This was caused by polymer clay. I had a bit of polymer clay that got left on this plastic tray. That's what can happen. And it's not only this really thin plastic, it's other plastics too. So be really, really careful what plastics you have around your polymer clays, because a lot of them just don't play nice. So we've got, so anyway, so that's the safety caution of the week. I hope you enjoyed our project. I hope that you have been making s'mores along with me. And if all goes well, next week there's something to go along with these. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't found us on Facebook, please come on over to Facebook and join the fun over there. I've said before, that's probably the quickest way to get a hold of me, because I do check my Facebook more often than I check my email. But check the blog post too. There's always more stuff on the blog, a few extra hints, sometimes a funny story about what happened while we were trying to make this project. All kinds of stuff ends up on the blog. And join us again next week and see where this project goes. I'll talk to you later. Bye.